Hello and welcome. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. I'm Snehi Shah. With me as always is Ankita Saxena. This is a show where we'll be taking you through all the big buzzers in today's trade and give you a technical outlook on some of these stocks as well. And we'll be doing all of this in under a minute. But before we welcome our guest on board and take you through all the big buzzers today, let's take a look at what the markets are up to. Very sharp recovery coming in from the day's lowest point, roughly 150, 160 points higher. Remember, we had managed to slip even below 24,350. We're above 23,500, so 23,350, pardon me, and we're now above 23,500. So looking good as of now, at least on the recovery front, Ankita.
Yeah, that's right, Snehi. We have posted a strong recovery from the day's lowest point. But you know, this 23,500 level is where Nifty is really facing resistance. In fact, whatever bounce back or breakdown is happening at around those levels. The 23,500 is an important level for the Nifty for now. Nifty flip-flopping between the red and the green. Nifty Bank also has managed to recover, but you know, it has given up those earlier recovery gains that we had posted from the recovery zone. We are actually down almost 417 points on Nifty Bank as of now. We are trading with cuts of 1% on Nifty Bank. Sectorally, of course, Nifty IT is, really holding the fort. It is trading with gains of 3.5%. Of course, on the back of those strong TCS results coming out, strong order book, good management commentary, positive outlook for the quarter 4, and that's what's really, making TCS buzz and trade more than 5.5%. On the back of that, LTI Mindtree, Tech M, Wipro, Persistent, they are all trading with gains of 3+% on the back of that optimism. But barring that, all the other counters are trading in the red, and currently market breadth is also tilted in the favor of declines as of now. But if you look at in some individual stock movers, we have the metal pack that is in focus today on the back of the JP Morgan note that has downgraded those counters and cut target prices. CDMO players are in focus today on the back of the note coming out from Jefferies. Besides that, TCS of course is the earnings candidate. There's an quarterly update coming in on JSW Steel also. But for other counters that are in focus today, we have to get started with market Fatafat, Snehi. So without further ado, let's get our guests on board.
Well, absolutely. On that note, let's welcome Kunal Parar, the Vice President of Technical Research and Algo at Choice Equity Broking. Kunal, hi, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the show. From our in-house research team, we do have Ria joining us. So good afternoon to both of you. Kunal, before we come to you, let me talk about one of the biggest losers in today's trading session from the Nifty 500 pack. Let's talk about Adani Wilmar, because the shares of Adani Wilmar have fallen as much as 9.5% in early trade today. Continues to be around those levels, languishing with a cut of 8.5% as we speak. The decline followed yesterday evening's announcement that its promoter has proposed to divest up to 20% stake in the company through an offer for sale coming in. Adani Commodities will be selling up to 20% stake in the company through an offer for sale on January 10 and 13 with a floor price of 275 rupees per share. This is what the company said in an exchange filing last evening. Now, the OFS will have a base offer of 13.5% equity along with a green shoe option. And Adani Commodities LLP will be selling 17.54 crore shares or a 13.5% stake of Adani Wilmar as the base offer on 10 Jan with an option to sell additional 8.45 crore shares, which is 6.5% of the paid up equity. This is the green show option, and this is in case of oversubscription. Only retail investors will be allowed to place their bids on the 13th of Jan, or non-retail investors who have chosen to carry forward their unallotted bids from day one. So that's what the timeline is looking like. That's what the promoter's stake sale is going to come through. That's the quantity that Adani Commodities is planning to sell. On the back of that, OFS coming in by one of the promoters, Adani Wilmar, is down and beaten away in today's trade.
All right, that's Adani Wilmar in focus today. But coming to you, Kunal, you picked out a small finance bank for us. Tell us what are you seeing on the charts for this counter, because this one has been in a long consolidation corrective phase for the last 6 odd months. So from here on, do you see a reversal or do you see a breakdown coming in on this counter?
Well, if we talk about AU Small Finance Bank, right now it is trading at 578 levels, trading above its 20 days moving average. Now, not only this, if you look at the weekly chart, stock has a strong support somewhere around 530s, and right now stock is trading at 578. So stock has already taken the support of its bottom, which stock placed at 530 levels. So we are expecting some kind of bounce back, particularly in this counter, up to the level of 620, and if stock breaks this 620, then further upside would be there up to the level of 644. So it looks very attractive, particularly on a daily chart. One can get into the stock at 578, while one can keep SL at 550 for an upside movement up to the level of 622 to 644.
right, that's AU Small Finance Bank on the charts. But moving on to a counter that is buzzing away in trade, and that's TCS, which is trading with gains of 4.5% in as investors are betting on early signs of demand revival and strong deal wins in quarter 3. TCS not just reported its highest third quarter order in 5 years, but also exhibited confidence to deliver stronger growth in calendar year 25 and FY26. At the end of October-December period, TCS total contract value stood at $10.2 billion, reflecting a surge of 25.93% on a year-on-year basis and 18.6% on a sequential basis. This strong TCV performance was achieved even without factoring in the contribution from its mega deals with BSNL, and despite quarter 3 typically being a seasonally weak quarter. Now, quarter 3 of FY25, the revenue stood at 7,500 million versus the expectation of 7,600 million, which is a slight bit of a muted top line and PAT growth, but the margins were pretty good, at 24.5%, and the order booking looked good as the TCV stood at $10.2 billion. The attrition also inched up a bit, 13% on a quarter-on-quarter basis versus 12%, and the headcount declined to 5,370. But the brokerages have come out. Morgan Stanley is maintaining overweight with a target price of 4,660. Nomura is maintaining a neutral with a target price of 4,020. But we also had the management of TCS on board. Let's go across and listen in to what they had to say.
North America business, particularly even from a TCV perspective, has shown a lot of strength and pipeline is good. And it's happening because the regional markets are picking up and doing quite well. So it's more a long-term trend of diversification. We don't read too much into it, and I don't think it's a bad thing to happen.
No, why I'm asking this question is because the BFSI vertical and the North America business are two harbingers directly to understand which way business is moving. I mean, the line I've always used.
That's what I'm saying. Like neither the BFSI business is doing badly. Like whatever the overall you see the BFSI business that might show a negative number, but that's more to do with the seasonality and furlough. But North America banking has done well for us. And similarly, North America as a geography, the TCV is good, pipeline is good. So as a indicator for the future growth, I think it's looking positive.
There is a big bump up in India business. We all know that BSNL. How much of that will still be, accounted for in this quarter? When will that business start waning a bit?
So last quarter we said that large transformation program which we are doing for BSNL is running at its peak, and it has been running at similar levels to last quarter. And from a execution perspective, almost 70% of it is complete in terms of installation and commissioning. We have about 60,000 towers, 60% of it is running commercial traffic. And the current order was for about 100,000 sites. And as it goes, the revenue from that contract will start to see some tapering.
So FY25, all the BSNL work would be accounted for. Or be spillover happens in FY26.
There would be something which could spill over into Q1 as well.
Okay, well, that's the word coming in from the top bosses at TCS. But Kunal, let's keep it going with the IT pack because you have picked out Infosys from the IT pack. Tell us what the chart is looking like to you. Last 6 months, it's been a 15% uptick coming in for the stock. Is this your preferred pick from the entire IT space? Is this how you would like to play the entire IT pack?
Well, yes, definitely. Actually, I am betting right now on Infosys. No doubt, we have seen a very good upside momentum, particularly in the TCS, based on some result-backed numbers. But I'm like more bullish, particularly in the IPS. It gives me some kind of confidence to get into the stock at present level. Not only this, after the 20th of Jan, we may see some further spark in the counters back on this Nasdaq as well. So right now, and Infosys is trading at 1966. Near to its all-time high level, above its all long-term moving averages, and in upper rising channel formation as well. So all the equations support this bullish momentum as of now. One can get into the stock at 1966, while we will keep SL at 1900. If we talk about the target size, first target comes at 210, and if stock breaks this 210, then further upside would be there up to the level of 270. Now, this is for trading to positional perspective, but if I talk about the medium term to long term, then we may see a good upside momentum up to the level of 2300 to 2400 in this 2025.
Moving on on then from Infosys on the charts to another earnings candidate. Ria, you picked out Irida for us. That stock is trading with cuts of 3%. Tell us, what does the result look like?
Well, yes, so IREDA has come out with its Q3 numbers, and the net interest income has come in at rupees 622 crores versus rupees 448 crores, up around 39% on a year-on-year basis. We've seen good growth on the PPOP front as well, up around 35%, and net profit has grown by around 27% on a year-on-year basis. So we've seen good growth on all of those counters, but NPAs have increased sequentially. The GNPA has come in at 2.68% versus 2.19%, and the NNPA is now 1.5% versus 1.04% in the previous quarter. Even on the net interest margin, it has contracted marginally, coming in at 3.33% versus 3.34% in the last quarter, and the stock is reacting negatively, largely due to the increase in NPAs, trading with cuts of almost 5% as we speak.
Okay, so that's the reason why IREDA is in focus. Kunal, you've picked out Bata India for us. Tell us what the chart is looking like for this counter, because this has been not doing well a lot quite recently, last 6 months also, of roughly 5% cut coming in, very flattish moves coming in. Do you expect this year to be a turnaround story for this stock on the charts?
Yes, definitely. I'm seeing a very good upside momentum on the card right now, because if you talk about the weekly chart, stock has already taken the support of its 1270 level. Now, before even if you talk about May 2022, even stock took the support of the same and it went up to the level of 2200. So we can expect the same replicate momentum at present level. Not only this, stock has also given a breakout of its downward falling channel formation on a daily chart, as well as it has been trading above its 20 days moving average. So all this equation goes in favor of creating a long position only. Now, I'm giving a level for a trading perspective. Right now, stock is trading at somewhere around 1434 level. One can get into stock at present level with SL of 1380. First target we can say it's a 1480, and if stock breaks this 1480, then 1550 would be there. Now these levels are for trading perspective only, but if you talk about medium term to long term, because this stock looks very attractive even for longer term perspective, then we can say good upside momentum up to the level of 1780 to 1900.
Right, with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. You don't go anywhere. After the break, we're getting you some more buzzers. Stay tuned.
Hi there, welcome back to Market Fatafat. Let's keep it going with all the big buzzers in today's trade. Kunal, coming to you, you've picked out one of the stocks that's in the spotlight today, and that's MGL. Mahanagar Gas is what you've picked out. Last 6 months, purely on the charts, it's been a very tepid last 6 months coming in for this company. Today, we have news flow on the back of that rise in APM gas allocation. So it's supposed to be good for the company going ahead. Fundamentally looking good. Chartically, what is the stock looking like?
Well, if you talk about the chartically, then the stock looks very attractive, particularly on the weekly and the daily chart. On a weekly chart, it has formed bullish hammer candlestick formation, which is a bullish reversal formation. Stock has already given a confirmation of the same, and right now it is trading at 1300 level. Not only this, if you talk about the daily chart, stock is coming out of its congestion momentum with above average volume activity, which again supports the bullish momentum in the counter. So based on this weekly and daily chart, I think one should get into the stock at present level. Right now, stock is trading at 1300 level. We will keep SL somewhere around 2025. No doubt, SL is at a little bit lower level because of the volatility, but we can see a good upside momentum in the counter. So we will keep SL at 1225. If we talk about the target size, and first target comes at 1350, and if stock breaks the 1350, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 1500. So this stock looks very good, at, particularly on the weekly and daily chart.
All right, Kunal, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on Market Fatafat. We will let you go on that note, but with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. We will come after the break with all the buzzers that are buzzing away in trade, so stay tuned.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.